Hi, honey, how are you? It's Teknikolour. I am back with another speed build, and this time it's another shell challenge submission for KevTheBuilder as part of this season of the Great Simish Bake Off. Let's check it out. You might remember recently that I had done another shell challenge submission for KevTheBuilder as part of the Great Simish Bake Off Season 6, and I had done Cinnabon as a food court because the whole theme for that shell was it was meant to be a food court stall that you would see in a mall. This time, the shell challenge is a whole mall storefront, and you can make anything that you want. And I decided to make my favorite store of all time, HomeGoods. I cannot even begin to explain to you how much I love HomeGoods. I don't normally get to go to HomeGoods, and there's actually a really good location that is right by where my parents live. So my boyfriend and I, we will sometimes head there. We haven't been in forever, and we were actually going to go this past weekend, but we were just too tired. I'll share a little bit more about that a little later on, but we absolutely adore HomeGoods. And when Kev had released this shell challenge, I had no idea what to make. I'm like, I don't know what to do for a store. And I knew people who had already started on it, and they had some really good ideas, and I couldn't think of anything. And then I was like, well, what kind of store would I want to shop at? Like, what would I want in my Sims game? And then I was like, I would want a HomeGoods, because I love HomeGoods. Like, I can't even begin to fully explain exactly how much I love HomeGoods. I'm actually decorated for Halloween, and a lot of the items that are back there are from HomeGoods. A lot of the decor in our apartment is from HomeGoods. Love a good HomeGoods find, but I knew it would be kind of cool to build HomeGoods in The Sims, because everything in The Sims is like stuff that you would find in HomeGoods because you decorate your home with it. So I was like, okay, instantly knew this is what we're doing. We need to have the bathroom because, you know, I don't know about your HomeGoods locations. They have a bathroom in the location that I go to, which I love, because you never know when you got to go to the sweet baby Steve's room. You'll understand that if you've come to my Twitch streams. And I just love all the shelves. Honestly, I could have spent days making shelves and just decorating them with all the clutter and making it stuff that, ooh, I would find this in my HomeGoods and be like, ooh, I need that right now. I just knew that this was the perfect store for me to build. And it took me a while to figure out exactly how to line everything up. And you might see here in the beginning, it took me a while to figure out the exact format of the aisles because the shell itself is kind of small. Like, you need room for everything. I also knew that I was going to want to add a lot of shelves because it's also medium wall height. That turned out to be a little difficult, and then I realized exactly how much clutter I was going to have to put down. So we downsized. So instead of having like 2 of those like shelves that you would find in a store, instead of having 2 of those, we ended up just going back to 1. It's fine. It's fine. You were none the wiser. But honestly, I was like, these shelves that I found were perfect for the kind of stuff that you have at HomeGoods. So I just went with it. I honestly kind of want to make an actual HomeGoods now, but I feel like it would take me months because there's so many things that you can find in HomeGoods. They've got rugs. They've got art. They've got lamps. I love the lamp aisle. I don't know what it is. I always need to go into the lamp aisle. I have lamps in my apartment. In my closet, I have lamps that we don't have room for. And we don't even really use our lamps anymore. We have overhead lighting, which you're probably going to be like, Tech, really, overhead lighting? But when we moved into this apartment, they had done so much electrical work, and they had put in all of the recessed lighting in like basically every single room. So we kind of just kept it. And they're dimmable. And then we also got Philips Hue. So we use a lot of the overhead lighting. We could change it to any temperature we want. Right now, it's always set to like daylight, which is a little bit of a cool lighting, which I know is not everybody's jam, but it doesn't feel like cool lighting, if that makes sense. It makes it bright, and it's essentially like sunlight, so it's like daylight. I love it. I love it. So does my boyfriend, and the two of us have even had conversations because we're like, are we weird that we like it as the sunlight, like the daylight? Is that weird? No, it's not. I decided. But I love HomeGoods. I knew as soon as I decided that this was what I was going to do, that I wanted to go all in. And you can see I kind of did go a little bit all in, because if you've been to HomeGoods, you kind of know that the shelves are a little interesting. So it's almost like they have like crown molding around the top. And that's a little difficult to do in The Sims. So I tried to size up some shelves. I was going to hide some plant boxes underneath it because they also had a little bit of an intricate design. That didn't work out. It was also going to be a lot, and it just wasn't lining up correctly. It wasn't looking good. So I just scrapped that idea. We ended up keeping the shelves. That's fine. So if you're wondering, why do you have these shelves floating above? Go to a HomeGoods. You'll know what I'm talking about. But HomeGoods has so many things. Like, we always stop in, and the candle aisle. Oh my God, we always have to go to the candle aisle. Sand and fog candles, the best candles. And HomeGoods has the best prices. This is not sponsored. This is not sponsored at all. But HomeGoods, if you want to sponsor me, I love you. Like, I can't. How many people are like, oh, my favorite store is HomeGoods? Like, I feel like most people would be like a clothing store or something like that. No, HomeGoods has everything you would want. They don't really have clothing, but I don't really need that. I love HomeGoods. There has been so many times where I've just gone into a HomeGoods and been like, we hit the jackpot. Because Halloween decorations, I have this statue of a cat, a black cat, on top of a jack-o'-lantern, wearing a witch's hat. And I almost didn't get it. Can you believe that? Like, I almost didn't get it. What is wrong with me? Our entertainment center in our living room, HomeGoods. We've had candles from HomeGoods. We have had vases from HomeGoods. We have had, God, it's just so many things from HomeGoods. And I just keep going back. You can get pet toys, you can get pet clothes. Oh my God, it's just everything there is just amazing. I've gotten gifts for people there. I have had so many amazing HomeGoods happy buys there. And The Sims is kind of like that for me as a game. So I can kind of be like, oh my God, I love this item. Oh my God, I love this item. And I have to decorate it. Every single build that I do has to have like specific items. It's just how you do it. And I knew that I needed to make HomeGoods proud with this build. And I think I did. I feel like the cash registers line up. I will admit, the game did in fact crash for me at one point. And I did lose some progress. Some of it I put back, some of it I didn't. I did not realize that some of the things that I really liked were not in this before I had already submitted the submission, but whatever. I did a lot of work that is still seen. Like I have a cart at the checkout. I think I did really well. With that. And that is a couple of items all put together and a whole bunch of clutter in it to look like a shopping cart. I don't know. And HomeGoods has some interesting shopping carts. I don't know. This honestly was a really fun shell challenge to do. And if you would like to do it, you actually still can. There's not that much time left. This is actually due Sunday, September 29th And Kev, the builder, who I will put his Twitch down below, he's going to be touring all of them. And I believe there's also going to be grab bags for the winners of this one. So I think he does like a wheel spin and there's a couple of winners, and whoever wins gets something that can either help or hinder people in the competition. And if you don't know what the competition is, I am competing in this current season of the Great Simish Bake Off. And if you're familiar with the Great British Bake Off, this is similar, but it's in The Sims. And it is way more entertaining. That's no shade to the people who have been on the original Bake Off television show. However, this one is in The Sims. So it's already got that going for it. Because now imagine there's a whole group of Sims, right? So basically like our Sim self. So there's me, there's my friend Tiny Snub, there's a whole bunch of people. And we are in a mall. And then there's a tent outside the mall where we are baking. We're doing team challenges, and we basically have to do really well. We have to gain points. We have to increase our baking skill, our cooking skill. And now imagine how sometimes Sims can lag if there's a lot of Sims on the lot. And now imagine that there's like 30 or so Sims on the lot, and we're all trying to bake at the same time. Yeah, not as easy. Not as easy as you would think. So it's honestly so funny to watch. And you'll just be sitting there and your Sim, like if you're competing like I am, your Sim is just going like this. Or like they'll like go down to the bowl of batter that they've already mixed up like 3 hours ago, and they just smell it and they're like, and you're sitting there in chat screaming typing it in KevTheBuilder's chat, being like, put it in the oven, Tech. It is just, oh my God, it is just so comical. Also, if you didn't know, KevTheBuilder, from his name, is a phenomenal builder. And if you remember, we had actually competed in the Builder Games recently, and KevTheBuilder was actually one of the judges there. And KevTheBuilder has actually won the Builder Games. So you know he's a fabulous builder. So I highly recommend giving him a follow if you haven't checked him out. He does a lot of building on stream, and it is always a very good time in his channels. And it's just so exciting to be competing in Bake Off this season. So if you haven't watched it, it's on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time or around that. He does sometimes need to change it, but that's typically the time. I didn't actually get to watch last Saturday, and I was very grateful that last Saturday was not an elimination week, because I believe this weekend is an elimination week, and I actually have plans this weekend, and I might not be able to watch the whole thing, so I'm a little nervous about that. But last week, here's what's really funny. My boyfriend and I, we decided to take a little bit of a long weekend, and we went to Hershey Park. I've never been to Hershey, Pennsylvania before, never been to Hershey Park. And I was a little confused as to why my boyfriend, Cinnabon Andy, wanted to go to Hershey so bad, because he hates chocolate. There's no other way to explain that. He hates chocolate, like hates chocolate, does not like the flavor of it, does not like the taste, does not like the smell, does not like cocoa at all. So red velvet, no, can't do it. And I'm like, you want to go to a place that is probably going to smell a lot like chocolate? I don't get it. But no, we had the best time. I was a little panicky when we ended up going on Friday. We went to Hershey World, which was really fun. I ended up getting this lip balm there that I thought was just adorable. Can you see this? It is s'mores. I love it. They had so much candy there. We got so many different flavors of things. We also got a couple of things of merchandise. We probably spent more than we expected to. But it was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, I don't know, just so much fun. I really liked the rides. I'm a big roller coaster person, but I haven't been on roller coasters in a really long time, so I was a little nervous about that. But I don't know. It was nice to get away. It was nice to get out of the city, and it was just fun to just hang out together. And there was just so many funny moments. Like, for instance, we were waiting in line for Wildcat's Revenge, which was really fun. That was a really good coaster. And we were waiting in line for Wildcat's Revenge on Friday night, and it went down. And we were like, okay, not worth it. Let's go on something else, because we didn't have that much time in the park. So we said, okay, maybe one of the other days that we're here, we'll be able to ride it. And then we were like, these lines are long. So we decided to wait after we had gone on pretty much everything else that we had wanted. And it was like 2 hours total that we were waiting. And the ride went down again. And a whole bunch of people left. So we were able to actually like scoot up in line a little bit. And oh my God, it was just taking forever. There were people who were like in line with us who were waiting as long as us, and kids just being like, oh my God, why are we here? We've been just in this line for forever. And then it started to rain. And then literally the group who was right before us, so like we're on the next car, the group who was literally about to take off on the roller coaster, they had to deboard the roller coaster. And then they had to get back in front of us in line. And then they made an announcement that Wildcat's Revenge would be down for the foreseeable future until the weather cleared up. Thankfully it did. It took maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 15, 20 minutes of the rain. And then once that stopped, they checked to make sure everything was safe. And then they put the people who were originally going to ride on it. And then we were able to go on. And I thought it was a ton of fun. There was also, there was a family who was next to us. So the mother and the son were getting on the ride, and they were the ones who had to like get off the roller coaster and then get back on once it reopened. They went on, but the daughter who was going to ride with the father right after them and right behind us was having none of it. Because like 2 hours is a long time for a kid. And she wanted nothing to do with this roller coaster at this point. And she wanted it known that she did not want to ride this roller coaster anymore. But like, they were going to ride it. Like, let's be honest. Like, you're not going to go on a roller coaster, wait 2 hours for it, get right there, and then not ride it. I mean, really. But the kid was like screaming and crying. So they had already like checked the seatbelts, they checked like the harnesses. We are all strapped in. We are ready to go. They're like all set. And the kid's like sobbing and like screaming and being like, no, I want to get off. I want to get off. And we're going like, jugga, 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 jugga. This kid was having a heart attack. I felt so bad, but I think she ended up having a good time. She was probably just exhausted and wiped out from all the crying, all the waiting for 2 hours, because I know I was. But it was just so comical for Andy and I to be like laughing hysterically, also enjoying the roller coaster, like for what it is, but also laughing hysterically that there's this kid behind us not having the time of her life. It was it was a moment for sure. And the picture was worth it. The picture was worth it. We ended up not actually getting the picture, but it was worth it. But yeah, we had such a good time at Hershey Park. We did so many things. Like, we also went to the Hershey Gardens, which I didn't even know this was a thing. And they have all of these butterflies. Like, there's like a whole butterfly exhibit as part of the gardens, and they're all just fluttering around. You could see some like coming out of the chrysalises, and the staff there were just fantastic. There was this one worker who was just so sweet and also very informative and had the coolest round-rimmed glasses, and the rims were rainbow. And I was like, oh my God, I love your glasses. I should have asked where they got them, but I don't know. I had the time of my life there. It was also pouring. It was pouring the day that we went to the gardens. So imagine walking around the garden. It's raining, it's pouring. It was an event. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So if you ever want to go on a vacation to Hershey Park, I do recommend it. I do recommend it. I had a lot of fun. It took me a while to really get into it. I was a little nervous, but also I had to drive all the way from New York City to Pennsylvania. It was a lot. That was kind of my long weekend. But I'm back now. I'm very excited. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff on stream. We're going to be doing a lot of building. So if you are enjoying these speed builds, but you would like to see them live, feel free to follow me over on twitch.tv/Teknikolour. I am going to be building a lot in Del Sol Valley, because that is where my legacy challenge, my legacy sims are ending up. So we're actually moving out of San Myshuno, and we're going to be living in Del Sol Valley, trying to get famous. And I'm building my sim a mansion in the hills. But because I also have some other sims who are going to be kind of joining us in a way, I have to build 2 other mansions. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know when we're going to get back to gameplay, but it's going to be fun. I also just don't do The Sims on stream, if you're interested. I also do a whole bunch of other variety. We're going to be checking out the new Palia update, if you were into games like that. And we're also starting The Last of Us this week. That was actually voted on by my Twitch community. And I'm a little nervous about it, because I feel like it's going to be really scary. But anyway, we are nearing the end of this build. I had so much fun making HomeGoods. HomeGoods, if you see this, I am in fact HomeGoods happy. I love you, honey girls. And it was so much fun. Oh my God. Do you know how amazing it would be to have a HomeGoods collaboration with The Sims 4? EA, please. HomeGoods, please do it. Make it happen. Oh my God, I would love to collaborate with you on it. Oh my God, that would be so cool. Make The Sims 4 HomeGoods happy. Get it trending. But anyway, we are at the end of the build right now. So I will catch you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be posting this on the gallery, and if you would like to see some photos, I'll be posting that over on my Instagram. But have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.